course of this weekend series, a weekend she won't forget.
Yeah, again, like you said, no home runs, 9 RBIs coming into this, and then just exploded. 4 for 6, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and kind of that's the way it went for the whole Texas A&M lineup.
Yeah, as you get a look at the lineup today, 1 through 9 for Texas A&M. Mac Barbara, 3 hits yesterday, her first start of the weekend. She now has over 200 hits throughout the course of her decorated career.
You know, Coach Ford talked about when everything syncs up for Barbara, it's just a matter of time. And again, 3 for 4 RBI, 2 runs scored. And when you have that power, that speed to set the table with Woolley and Powell at the top, and then you come down with Perez, Harper, and Barbara, that is a really, really tough lineup to face.
First pitch underway in Auburn, and it misses for ball 1 on Coco Woolley. So A&M took game 1 of this series, 5-4 in a nail biter, and then a run rule victory yesterday, 13-2. Check swing, it's off the bat, and a 1-1 count.
You know, Clemens coming in here on paper, that lefty-lefty matchup with all of the left-handed hitters Texas A&M has in their lineup, it would favor Clemens right here, but it is going to be a pitch-by-pitch situation, work ahead in the count, keep the ball down, change speeds like you see there.
Yeah, throughout the course of this weekend, Auburn has utilized several different pitchers in the circle. Clemens, her first appearance this weekend against Texas A&M. Two one, that's outside. 3 balls and a strike on Woolley. Woolley, a senior out of LaPorte, Texas. Missed 6 games this season with an injury. Over 180 games played in her career. That's upstairs for ball 4. Leadoff batter reaches for Texas A&M. So Clemens will start today, the sophomore from Alabaster, Alabama. First appearance this weekend against Texas A&M, and a big opportunity for her in the circle today.
Yeah, she's going to come pitch up in the zone. She's got a curve, can change speeds, as you've seen early there, but again, going to have to limit the free passes, especially with that speed at the top of the lineup here for A&M.
So Woolley aboard on first base. Kennedy Powell in the batter's box, the junior from Conroe, Texas. Pitch misses outside. It's a 2-0 count.
And you can see just how big of a lead Woolley is getting there. I mean, it's a little bit of a cheat code, and you can see Riker is going to call timeout and just kind of talk about it. It is very, very difficult to defend a slapper at the plate when you have that much speed on first base.
So Riker Jason, first year pitching coach.
And I mean, when she needs to, she can rear back and throw it, but again, very difficult to play defense when you've got that much speed on the bases and at the plate.
Well, 2 things. You saw Riker Jason, pitching coach, make a visit in the circle, and then you saw Kate Malvo go out there as well, and she was talking with her defense. It just feels like this is an important spot early for Auburn.
Oh, 100%. And Clemens has thrown 6 balls right now, and you kind of have a feeling how this first inning goes, the game could go.
Lisenby thought about a throw down to first base. It's now a 3-0 count on Powell. Powell, she's had a big weekend, 4 for 8. She scored 3 times. That's up and outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Clemens.
And you have to believe this is just not the way Auburn wanted to start this game.
So what's important for Auburn in this situation?
Well, right now, Clemens just needs to settle in and find the strike zone. And now you're asking her to do that against Perez, who's tied in home runs on the team, a massive power threat.
Also has the most RBIs as well. Sophomore from Corona, California. Here's a strike fired in.
If Clemens is going to get that call, she needs to live right there. I mean, down and out, that might have been just a little off the plate, but
lifted in the air, center field. Abby Smith underneath it makes the catch. Runners will bluff attack to third and second, so everybody stays put. That's an important first out for Auburn. And if you're Texas A&M, this is who you want at the plate. Amari Harper, who we touched on up top, 2 home runs this weekend. She has been outstanding. She's got 4 hits as well against Auburn, and she takes strike 1.
you know, I talked a little bit about her post-game interview, and she just seemed like, I mean, just a real infectious personality. And when you get to this level and you're facing teams like next week, Auburn will face Texas and then into Florida, and it's got to be that. There's got to be that X factor that puts you over the top.
Good block by Lisenby. That's a good point. It also shows how paramount this game is today for Auburn.
100%. I mean, I think everyone in that dugout knows they need to find a win today.
It's a Texas team that played for a national championship a season ago. They're the preseason favorites in the conference this year. That's slapped foul. Harper over 120 games in her Texas A&M career. One, two, check swing. The appeal doesn't go around. Is our umpire at third. That's Robert Guest. Stephen Gould is our umpire at first base. Carlos Guzman, our home plate umpire today. 2-2. And that hits Harper, but she's going to have to stay in the box.
I mean, not only that, that pitch looked like it was over the plate. I mean, if I'm Auburn, I'm asking.
Pitch to Harper, outside ball 4, so Clemens has walked the bases loaded.
These are the things we talked about in the open as well, just kind of the defensive struggles that Auburn's had, and when you have that going on, you certainly don't want to give any free passes, and 3 in the first inning is a tough road to come back from.
Yeah, you touch on the defense. Auburn yesterday, 3 errors. And Texas A&M was able to cash in on those errors. Yeah, so this was yesterday, 3 errors. And then you see what Auburn has done so far defensively this season.
You know, on the flip side of that, Auburn is capable of turning a double play anytime. I have seen some tremendous double play turns, starting with Peralta yesterday, one of the best I've seen in a long, long time.
Mac Barbara takes strike 1.
But it looks like Auburn is not going to play a traditional double play depth with the middle infield. They're going to be in just a little bit, maybe looking to see how hard the ball's hit and where they can play it. But there's definitely a double play opportunity here with a ground ball.
Up and outside to make it 1-1. Barbara, by the way, hitting .500 this season when the bases are loaded. Did not play in game one. Was big yesterday with 3 hits.
Did you just say 500 with the bases loaded?
This season. Lifts it out of play for strike 2. How'd you get flashbacks? Was that your average with the bases loaded?
No. That just seems pretty darn good.
It's off the end of the bat, foul. 1-2, it remains. So for Barbara, this is her 3rd different stop. 16 games as an Ole Miss Rebel, and then had a decorated career at San Diego State, where she was a 2-time Mountain West Conference Player of the Year.
Another 2-strike hit.
Popped up in the air. Lisenby makes the catch for the 2nd out. Going back to Barbara, by the way, that will be credited as a single. She does get credit for 2 RBIs. So 2 outs.
I couldn't hit, Graham. I'm always trying to get the extra.
1 on in right. So Riker Chasen comes out of the Auburn dugout and signals to right field to Isis Tresvik, who does have a start this weekend in this series. So it appears that Auburn is going to make a change in the circle here. They will, so we'll step aside and be back after this. Texas A&M in front early, 2-0 over Auburn. Circle for her this season.
And I will say Friday night, I mean, she came out and was throwing really, really well to start the game. And there were a couple pitches I thought were really, really close. She did not get the call and, really battled back. And one of those pitches would have been strike 3, rolled into a hit, and that was the result of those 2 runs. But she did a great outing on Friday.
So she walks into a situation in which she inherits 2 outs and 2 runners on base. New right fielder is Womack for Auburn. Texas A&M 2 runs on 1 hit. Clemens walked the bases loaded as Tresvik delivers a strike.
And that was the exact pitch right there that was, it to me looked like that and was not getting the call on Friday. If she can get that call here today, she could be very effective.
That's the outside corner, 1-2. Allie Enright from Santa Clarita, California, 3 hits this weekend. Arizona transfer. Played 26 games in Tucson. Up and outside, 2-2. So prior to this weekend, the last time Texas A&M won at Auburn was 9 years ago, as this ball is lace fouled on the right field line. 2-2
it's crazy when these 2 teams get together. It's been sweep, one way or the other.
Aggies 3-2 in SEC play. They opened up at home against Florida last week.
Exact pitches I was talking about on Friday night that were not getting called.
Payoff pitch, called strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Isis Tresvik. A strong start for Texas A&M. 2-5 in the series. She's been on fire at the plate as of late. An 11-game hitting streak. That is a career best for her.
I mean, she's been a mainstay in this lineup. She can do it defensively and offensively, down a little bit last year, but has really, really picked it up. Just scored her 100th career win. Whoa.
Tresvik jumps on the first pitch, but flies out to left field.
I said 100th career run. I thought it was about to be 101 off the bat. Ends up being a fly ball to left.
So for Texas A&M, second start of the weekend for Emily Kennedy. She started game 1 of this series, the senior out of the Woodlands, Texas, and she was sensational on Friday. Season high in innings pitched and strikeouts.
I mean, she was what she does, right? She was very methodical, high velocity. That curveball, when it is working, it's crazy. You can see she can work up and down in the zone, but when she gets in a groove, that's what happened. 11 strikeouts and just kind of went through the lineup.
Two-0 count on Peralta. She was the SEC Player of the Week in Week 1. She's approaching 200 career games played, by the way, at Auburn. 3-0, called a strike. Yanked foul, 3-2.
That curveball that Kennedy throws on a left-handed hitter is really, really hard to pick up, but on a right-handed hitter, when it's coming in on the hands like that, if you don't keep them inside and get that barrel out, it's exactly what happens. You get handcuffed.
Three-two, out of play. Hit sharply, stop
Like that and get an out. Goodness.
Here's Annalee Adams. What's the mindset of an Auburn team after you drop the first 2 games of a series and you're just trying to gain momentum any way you can?
That's a really tough question, right? Because it's not just the 2 games. It's coming off Mississippi State and then that really, really tough loss at Georgia Tech in the 7th inning. And, I mean, to be honest, it can be really tough.
This ball smacked to center field. It's a 2-out base hit for the freshman Adams.
That's all Adams. You know, you can tell when somebody's hitting it good. I was watching the games at Mississippi State, and Adams swung at a pitch, probably like 2 balls over her head, and she just stepped out, kind of laughed, and then got right back in the box and drove it right back up the middle.
Yeah, that's a true freshman as well. That catches the corner for strike 2. Kennedy's 0-2. There's the rise ball.
That was a better miss right there. I think sometimes Kennedy just rears back and throws it. And, you know, it's not one of those pitches that really has a hitter sniffing at it. It's just too far out of the zone.
Ground ball to third. It's off of Powell. Ricochet to Woolley. No throw at any base. 2 on here for Auburn. This ball was scored. It's ruled an error of the third baseman, Powell. So 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Strike fired in at Anna Woolers. Auburn leaves a pair. 1 versus leads on the Plains. It's a 2-run lead for Texas A&M. third base this season. She's starting to move around in the lineup some. Beginning of the season, she was hitting third. She's in the 5 spot today. She gets jammed, rolls it to Coco Woolley, elects to get the lead runner at third base for the final out as Auburn leaves a pair of runners on base. One completes. Would you play it straight? Would you try to crack everybody up? How would you handle it?
I feel like there needs to be a lot of editing on Mic'd Up Monday. Best part about Mic'd Up Monday is Monday, you get to watch softball. You used to have to wait 4 days. Now you get an awesome game on Monday night.
This is put in play and it's foul. Olivia Johnson will head back to home plate.
You don't see that every day, Graham.
No.
Got the catcher trying to drop a bunt here to lead off the inning for a base hit. Same catcher that's 65 RBIs, or 19 RBIs this season.
Down and outside, 2-1. Conference game on a Monday. How would you have liked that as a player?
I would have loved it.
Why is that?
I mean, it's like everyone, the whole softball world is watching. It's the only game on.
Yeah. Here's a little flare right side, brought in by Roach. So to dive into this matchup, Texas and Florida. Gators appear national championships. They went back-to-back. Texas has been on a roll as of late, doing the national runner-up last season.
I mean, you just sit back and look at these.
Framer. Tresvik started the game in right field for the Tigers. Now finds herself in the circle for the second time in this series. Popped in the air, foul territory, left field line, brought in by the shortstop Peralta for the second out.
I don't think you can understate what kind of an athlete Tresvik is, and you have to be. I mean, you can turn on the TV and watch her in right field go literally rob home runs over the fence, hit home runs herself, and then, oh yeah, can you go out on the mound and throw a few innings for us?
Top of the order for Texas A&M, Coco Woolley at the plate. But Tresvik at North Carolina A&T, she threw 35 2/3 innings. Just hasn't really done it much at Auburn. But it kind of feels like the rest of the way she will get a lot of opportunities in the circle for the Tigers. There's a 1-1 count on Woolley, who has walked and scored a run today. It's sharply right side. Rose Roach has it, and the Aggies go down in order 1-2-3 in the top of the second. It's a 2-0 lead. Texas A&M in front of Auburn. Leads off.
It's supposed to go the opposite way, right? The more times you see a pitcher, usually the better you get. And that was not the case on Friday.
Kennedy season high, 8 innings. She's going 8 innings in an outing on more than one occasion. Popped up behind the circle, brought in by Woolley for the out. Woolley's been busy at short, by the way. 3 of the 4 outs recorded so far belong to the senior Woolley at short. Lisenby at the plate. Lisenby out of Huntsville, Alabama. 1 for 4 this weekend.
I think she's one that's trying to find her spot in the lineup too, getting more comfortable, getting some more at bats. You see the batting average is not super high, but definitely has the ability to swing it.
Outside for ball 4. Lisenby at first base. Rose Roach in the batter's box. Roach looking for her first base hit of the weekend.
You know, A&M's infield is kind of adjusting to how Kennedy pitches. I mean, you see that curveball out, curveball all the time, and you can see how far up the middle second base is there. So if she was dropping a bunt down first base, which is very difficult to do, and that curveball is going out like that. And ground ball to third base. Moves the runner, though.
Yeah, that was essentially a swinging bunt there by Roach. There are 2 outs in the inning, though. And the number 9 batter, Abby Smith. Smith out of Austin, Texas. Started every game at center field and has hit last for Auburn in every game.
Well, the second chance in 2 innings too. Auburn has had a runner in the scoring position. They need that big 2-out hit.
Now 2 strikes on Smith. Auburn so far 0 for 3 with a runner on base. Check swing. Here comes the appeal. Doesn't go around. It's Robert Guest, our third base umpire. 1-2 count on Smith.
Sometimes when those slappers run through there with that check swing, it looks a little worse than it is.
Two, line down the left field line, just foul.
It's good at bat here for Smith after going down 0-2. You know, with all those pitches that Kennedy threw on Friday, making her work here early. By the time you get, you know, late into this game, and Auburn has a tendency to, it's
probably better than how I would do. Here's Kennedy Powell. That's how it works, right? You make a great play defensively, and then you're going to lead off the next inning. That's the case here for the junior out of Conroe, Texas. UCLA transfer, 59 games played at UCLA, made the Pac-12 freshman team. There's a base hit to right field. Second hit of the ball game for the Aggies.
and just really fun to watch, because when you have a hitter like that, you think, oh, single. That single can turn into a runner standing at second base real fast with that speed.
So this is where the chess match will begin. Powell leads Texas A&M in stolen bases at first, and the catcher Lisenby behind the plate for Auburn. Perez at the plate takes ball one. Perez 0 for 1 with a fly out today.
I feel like in these situations, you're just aggressive. You're up to sender.
This ball's crushed, but foul.
I mean, I know you don't want to run yourself out of an inning, but that kind of speed put the pressure on Auburn's defense.
Mm-hmm. How much would it mean to you to stay perfect, though, in stolen bases and not be thrown out? Would you care about that or no?
I know. I just feel like she's probably got the confidence that, yeah, I'm staying perfect. So easy to say up here, right? Just send her.
Yeah. Well, she's got 30 stolen bases in her career. Here's the 1-2 to Perez. Ground ball right side. Roach goes to second for 1. Relay throw over, not in time. So Perez reaches on the fielder's choice. Base for Maury Harper. Boy, look out on deck. Mac Barbara. Head on a swivel over there. Harper, by the way, just 5 hits away from 100 in her career.
I got one of those uphill 2 miles both ways stories for you. You know, back in the day, they didn't have nets on the dugouts.
So what'd you do?
I got hit.
Did you?
I did, actually.
How many, like how often?
No, once. But one time I did get hit.
Yeah, one time would be enough. So there you go. There you go. Talk about it. Foul ball hits the net. Auburn dugout, they don't even have to think about it. One, two outside. Good block by Lisenby. That Auburn catcher position before the season started, it was up for grabs. 3-person competition for the spot. It bounces well in front of home plate. Another great block by Lisenby.
Yeah, she's working back there. And that's why she's back there, right? Good defensive catcher. I think the pitchers trust her. She does a good job framing.
The 3-2 to Harper.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
2 hits so far for Texas A&M. Three-two, and that hits Harper. So she reaches for the second time.
Now batting number 31, Mac Barbara.
No, I think you're in another situation here where Auburn just needs to get a really, really big infield, push the middles way back. You want to do everything you can, get any ground ball on the dirt here so a run doesn't score. And take a look right there, too, at that big gap out there in right center. Smith is shaded 2-3 feet to the left of the logo.
Here you can see the flag as well. That is the direction the wind is blowing in the ballpark as Texas A&M makes a substitution. New runner on second base. So that was Maya Perez. Perez reached on the fielder's choice. First pitch outside. So it's Lovell on second, by the way. So Barber at the plate. This is her first season at Texas A&M. I thought it was interesting. Trisha Ford was touching on, you know, these players that are essentially, they play their final season in a new place. It can go one way or the other, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of time, and that is what they've been working on with Mac Barber. She had the decorated career at San Diego State, two-time Conference Player of the Year, and they are working with Mac Barber to be present in the moment.
Her hitting is just one of those things that can go bad quickly or really, really good. I mean, you can hit the ball in the nose 5 times in a row right at somebody and not get on base, or you get find a blooper. Sometimes it takes one swing of the bat, and this might have been the weekend that did it for Barbara.
Got the edge, 1-2. Well, Coach Ford was saying nobody's going to outwork or outprepare Barbara. She does all that stuff. She just said sometimes you just got to keep it simple. Don't want to think a lot when you're at the plate, and what we saw yesterday when she had the multi-hit game.
Yeah, hitting is one of those things you just put all the work in the front end, right?
Yeah.
You do all the film, you take all the swings, you get yourself prepared, but when you get in the box in a game, you kind of just have to let all that go and, you know, be free, and that is a lot easier said than done.
Two, foul back. Barbara had the clutch hit in the first inning, proving the game's only run. 2-2 check swing. Appealed out of third, doesn't go, says Robert Guest.
It's a good pitch there for Tresvik. I mean, when she's missing around the zone.
Swing and a miss. A huge strikeout for Riker Jason out to the circle for Auburn as A&M has 2 outs and 2 runners on base. Looks like this might be just game planning and going over how Auburn wants to handle this situation.
The amount of charts that they use in the matches. I mean, Coach Ford was talking about, they were kind of joking. They said, "What, are you up to 30 charts right now?" And then I was watching Mississippi State the other day, and they had every color of pen lined up on the net. I don't know what they for. I'm sure they have reasons, but yeah, sometimes you just got to make it simple, right? Come in, hit your spot, let your defense work, get out of the inning.
Not to date you, but what was the scouting report like when you were playing?
She throws hard. She might throw up.
Nowadays, essentially every game is on video, one way or the other.
We had video, Graham. It was just VHS.
First pitch misses low. Lovell's on second base. That's Harper at first. Two count here on KK Dimmitt, freshman from California. Only freshman to start every game this season for the Aggies. And this is where she has been moneyed this season for Texas A&M. She's got 15 two-out RBIs. It is A&M in front of Auburn. Top of the order for the Tigers. It's a busy day for Tresvik. Started in right field. She had to imagine she wasn't going to enter the circle as quickly as she did. She's 0 for 1 at the plate today.
This is kind of the spot that so far this season, Auburn has really, gone through the lineup one time this game, and they kind of hone in on a pitcher, if you will.
Hitting there to right field, tracked down by Harper. Again, the wind is blowing out towards right field. Harper, she broke in initially, then had to kind of race back towards the wall to bring it in.
Well, Harper's not started and played a lot of games out there in right field, so a lot of times, you can take as many fly balls as you can in practice, and they come off that bat different in a game.
Yeah. Harper normally has played first base or second base defensively for Texas A&M.
It's a good problem to have. Like when you have an athlete, and they can hit. I think that's what A&M is trying to figure out right now. Like, how do we put all these pieces together?
Peralta has a 2-0 count. Peralta now a senior, was an all-conference selection 2 years ago. Outside for ball 4. Second walk issued by Kennedy.
And another base runner for Auburn. They've been getting runners on every inning.
Brings up the super talented freshman, Adams, who does have a base hit today. Check swing. It's a strike.
You see extra inning softball had her ranked as the number 10 recruit in the class, and she's certainly starting off that way.
She's got a battle here, down quickly, 0-2.
I mean, look at that average, 432, 4 home runs.
So a lot of wins. Previous stop, she was the head coach at Fresno State and Arizona State. Went to the World Series back in 2018. She's got over 100 wins as the head coach at Texas A&M.
I thought one of the craziest stats I saw was, home field advantage is awesome, right? Everyone feels like they have it, but last year, 27-2 at Davis Diamond, that is a tough place to play.
Did you enjoy playing at home more or going on the road?
Yeah, I think especially right now, we talk a lot about conference realignments. The travel for some of these teams is absolutely insane. And so, yeah, it's a lot easier to sleep in your bed, go take a few swings in the morning, come back, and then instead, a lot of these teams, they have the luxury of maybe getting on a charter flight. A lot do not. But you're talking about teams that are flying literally across the country sometimes to play a game, and that cannot be easy.
Misses a little low. It's a 3-0 count on Allie Enright.
I think that's also one of the awesome things. The Southeastern Conference sets itself apart in a lot of ways, but just the footprint of where all the schools are, and yeah, there is a reason that it is one, if not the best conference in the country.
Outside for ball 4, so Enright is aboard to begin the top of the 4th.
And you have to think that
well, there you go. It's like you can predict the future. We're going to have a third pitcher in the circle for Auburn. It certainly appears that way. As Isis Tresvik, it looks like her afternoon is over in the circle.
Feeds on ya.
Put in play by Johnson. Throw to first in time to record the outs. So this was on.
She did a good job of hitting her spots there, and then you could see the defense that Auburn gave her.
Runner on second base for the number 9 batter, Raymer Este. Too far inside. Este, even though she hits 9th, she just does a really good job of getting on base. She leads the Aggies in walks.
We talked to Coach Ford about, will 2 runs be enough? And she said, no, we need some more. You can see how important that was if you're going to bunt to move a runner over there. And at this point, I think A&M is just trying to manufacture another run here for this inning.
Both runs for the Aggies occurred in the first inning. Clemens started in the circle for the Tigers, walked the bases loaded, and Texas A&M cashed in with a timely base hit. Dresvick, by the way, is back in right field for Auburn. Nice pitch there by Guerin, 2-2.
And she just does such a great job of hiding that pitch. Even when you know you're going to see it, it's very difficult to square up.
What's the approach here for Este with a 3-2 count?
I mean, she has really, really good hands. I think you have to sit back and then just foul off that changeup if you see it.
The payoff pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Roach collects it, slings it over in time to record the second out. Enright advances to third base on the play.
Back to the top of the order, number 3, Coco Woolley.
I think this is a really big inning for Auburn. You can leave that runner there at third base and take it into the other half of the inning, put a couple runs on it, change the game here. If you're a defense with SJ on the mound, you know there's a chance that you're going to get the ball.
So today you get to look first time through the lineup versus the second. And so far the difference, those 3 walks in the first inning.
I mean, there's a very high percentage, right? They have it out there. If you walk, they score. And that is the difference in the game right now.
So now the senior shortstop, Coco Woolley, trying to come through with a clutch hit for Texas A&M. She has been fantastic defensively today. 2 really nice plays, one of those leading to a double play. Dribbles it foul, 1-2.
Auburn has kind of gone with this philosophy for this year, kind of get through the inning, get through the lineup once, maybe twice, and then SJ comes in, and that is a really, really difficult adjustment as a hitter to make when you're facing 62, 63, and then now you're facing 52, 53, or 47. Another great job by Lisenby back there.
Guerin's 2-2. Back to her in the circle. Turns and fires to first in time for the final outs as Texas A&M leaves a runner stranded at third. It's a 2-run lead for the Aggies. Just 1 base hit so far today for the Tigers. That was a single in the first inning.
Yeah, that scoreboard looks a little different than it did yesterday.
Pretty pitch there, 2-1. Yesterday, A&M 13 runs on 14 hits. Auburn 2 runs on 2 hits. The appeal to first for Stephen Gould, so she doesn't go around, so it's a 3-1 count. Three-two hits sharply to second. Go over in time. 1 away.
Now batting number 22, Anna Woolers.
This is an Auburn team trying to snap a 6-game losing skid. Woolers over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. There's now 2 away here in the 4th. But Auburn, they got out to such a fantastic start in the non-conference portion of the schedule. They're just looking for that spark, especially offensively.
You know, and early on in the year, it was they were finding ways to win ball games, right? It was 1 through 9, happening on 2 outs, 2 strikes. I mean, you could see that it was infectious in the dugout. And sometimes, you know, momentum again, it can go one way or the other. And so right now they're trying to get out of the downhill slide that they're in.
So what can you do as a player when you're in a portion of the season like this for Auburn?
It's just one of those things where it's really hard to look ahead, and I've heard a lot of people talk about that. It's like, oh, Texas, oh, Florida. Oh, well, yeah, it's the SEC. I mean, you can't. You have to be where your feet are, in terms of, I mean, literally every pitch, every at bat. I think yesterday. That's what happened. The score got away from him really quickly, and it was really 1 or 2 plays that did it.
That's a check swing by Leck. That's the first strikeout today for Kennedy after she racked up 11 on Friday. After 4, the Aggies
in the country, and then coming out with the #1 RPI, and now they have to face this SEC schedule that doesn't get any easier, but they just need to get back to where they were there. Kind of finding a way to win. That's a tough start for this inning here.
first offering to Perez, hits her, and she trots to first base, or whether that's Powell. Powell at first base now. So for Auburn during the 6-game losing streak, a big difference is the offense and lack thereof the last 6 games.
Yeah, 3 one-run losses. A couple of those were killer. The bottom of the 7th at Georgia Tech. They've led in 5 of the 6 last games that they've played, 3 after the 4th inning. And that team batting average has gone down there to .235.
Here's Maya Perez. So how important is an aspect like leadership for Auburn during this stretch here?
I mean, it's huge, right? It's one of those things, you get some new coaches in, some new life, everyone's excited, you get a couple wins, get on a roll, and then you kind of face the gauntlet, right? Somebody's got to step up.
In the air to left field, KK McCreary backs up, makes the catch for the out. Well, coming into this weekend, you could just tell that Chris Malvo, he was excited to be back in this ballpark in SEC play. Tigers open up on the road at Mississippi State. State is off to a really good start, especially in SEC play.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it earlier, just how much easier it is to play at home. And Jane B. Moore is a huge home field advantage. You know, Friday night was a tough game. That could have gone truly either way.
extra innings.
Yeah, kind of set the tone for the weekend.
And then yesterday, just an offensive explosion for Texas A&M. It's upstairs, 1-1 on Harper. What are your impressions so far of Karen in the circle?
I mean, she's coming in what she does, right? She fills up the zone, she changes speeds, relies on her defense. I mean, usually the first time through the lineup, she's very, very effective.
One, two upstairs. Shaylee Clemens started today for Auburn in the circle. Tresvik, her second appearance in the circle this weekend. Two to Harper, up and away.
You know, I just want to go back and give a little credit to Tresvik again, coming in and do what she did in the second series of the SEC. Pitching shape is different. That is different than being in outfield shape or in what. I mean, you have got to work at it and put in the time, and to ask her to do what she did, I mean, she just did a tremendous job.
In the air to right. Aggies try to be.
I don't think there's a play that goes by that's not close, that they're not, hey, let's look at it. Was it obstruction? Was it interference?
So this will be, did Powell, the throw got there in time, but did Powell slide in underneath the tag? It was awfully close.
You can see they're putting a freeze frame here at
First down. So call stands. And that can be a moment that just gives Auburn momentum moving forward.
I mean, just a tremendous defensive play all the way around, getting the ball in, the relay, staying with that tag. It was a great slide. I think you're going to see an unintentional intentional walk right here.
Lisenby was set up way outside.
I mean, first base open, 2 outs. She's responsible for the 2 RBIs of this game.
And the freshman is standing on deck for Texas A&M. Yeah, so Lisenby way outside. And as you said, this will be an unintentional intentional walk on Barbara. Timely hit in the first inning. So far, that's been the difference. There's ball 4. And now 2 runners on base for Texas A&M. Riker Chasen to the circle for Auburn. And there you go. That's what you were alluding to earlier. So many charts, graphics, whatever you want to use. Way more information now.
Yeah, and it's kind of like pick your poison, right, with this Texas A&M lineup. It's not like you're pitching around Barbara to get to Dement because she can't hit, right? It's just like you'd rather take your chances here.
And now Lisenby and Karen. Have a quick word before Lisenby goes back behind home plate. So there's the freshman, KK Dement. Has the most 2-out RBIs for Texas A&M this season. Trisha Ford said even though she's a true freshman, she's got an old soul, really likes to be coached hard.
And we were talking about the shading of the outfield earlier and how there was a big gap in right center. Well, there is a tremendous gap down the line in right now, and if you just took a camera and put straight out over second base, you wouldn't even think there's a center fielder out there.
Where are you on an Apple Watch? I know that's not an Apple Watch, but thumbs
An
up.
Apple Watch? I can't live without it. If I don't close these rings, and look how far I have to go. This is not good.
What are you setting on? What's the goal every day? How many miles? How many steps?
10 miles.
Jeez.
No, I'm not.
I was about to say, you never sit down? Looks like they got everything situated. Big spot here. 2 outs, 2 runners on base. And a big swing and a miss for strike 1. What's important here for both teams in this situation?
I mean, if you're Auburn, I think the answer is really simple. You just need an out. I think if you're Texas A&M, that ball goes in play, you're sending runners here, making Auburn make a play.
It's called strike 3. A monumental strikeout for S.J. Guerin. A&M had 2 runners
To the plate and have a chance to help your team. Lisenby with that unbelievable catch and hang on and tag at the plate last inning.
It's down and inside, 1-1.
Found herself in that same position on Friday too and was not able to hang on. That was a tough collision at the plate.
Low line drive, it's brought in by Woolley. Do they say that?
I do, they do. I've heard it several times.
Well, this time it'll be Kennedy. And that puts away Roach for the out. The great double play earlier, too.
Yeah, the ball popped up on her. It was actually reminiscent of the play that Peralta made yesterday. We've really seen some.
Well, here she is again. 1-2-3 Auburn goes in the bottom of the 5th. Texas A&M leads it 2-0.
I think so.
Mount Rushmore mascots, you think? Western Kentucky's on there.
I was just about to ask.
Here's a base hit to left field. Allie Enrights with that not a lot of hits today. That's just
This is the part of the lineup here that's going to be really, really big for Auburn. I mean, you're at 8-9, and then again, you roll it over for the 4th time.
one shown. 1-1 the count. Are you surprised Texas A&M hasn't been more aggressive on the bases?
I really am. I mean, I really am, and I think that that's a tribute to Lisenby back there at Friday night when she was asked to do it. Threw out 2 base runners, but I think if it was me, I'd still try.
Enright, 6 stolen bases in her career. Johnson fouls it back. Johnson, a senior, she's from Texas, but started her career at Washington, 135 games played in Washington. She's 0 for 4 in this series this weekend.
This is probably a stat I should know, Graham, but
Este's 0 for 2.
and if Auburn can find an out here, gets them out of the situation I was talking about earlier, rolling that lineup over. It's a lot easier to face those slappers with nobody on base.
Guerin just looks in control. 2 2/3 in relief. They're 0-2. A little elevated. Hit sharply. Looked like it got a piece of the mid of Guerin. A 2-out base hit for Texas A&M.
Another good piece of hitting there by the Aggies. 2 strikes, able to keep those hands back.
Here's Coco Woolley. This is what you were alluding to. The lineup now turns over for Texas A&M. And one of the best hitters in the conference at the plate.
And just a triple threat, right? Even with 2 outs. She can put a bunt down if she wants, slap it. It's just hard to defend.
Soft ground ball to Roach at second, slings it over in time for the final out. So the Aggies leave a runner stranded. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, it's a 2-0 lead.
So far today, I mean, Auburn has had several looks at her.
Just kind of a different look. You don't see a lot of left-handed pitchers that almost touch 70, like Kennedy. Swing.
This is kind of what she did on Friday night, right? Just starts coming right at these Auburn hitters.
Foul back, 1-2 on Peralta. So second weekend of SEC play. There's the rise ball. That worked last time with Tresvik. 2-2.
There's been a lot of fun games this weekend, Graham. I turned it on the TV last night, watched South Carolina beat Georgia. Late inning walk-off.
Got any big picture takeaways after the first 2 weekends of conference play?
That the SEC is hard. I mean, Texas goes down into Gainesville, takes the first 2. I mean, it's what we talked about earlier. Everyone's got some tremendous talent. It's what's going to set you apart on that day.
It's a full count on Peralta. It's fouled back. Well, the SEC, they are certainly in a potential opportunity where every team in the league makes the NCAA tournament. That has happened a lot over the years.
Yeah, I think right now you look at some schedules, and there are a couple teams that are going to have to get above 500 in order to do that. It's a big at-bat right there by Peralta.
It really was. Great at-bat by her. Third walk allowed by Kennedy. So the freshman Adams will be at the plate, and a new runner At first base now, Georgia Lessman, sophomore from Enterprise, Alabama. Now running. So how aggressive does Auburn want to be in this situation?
Not.
A spot in which they just haven't had a lot of base runners or opportunities today.
Yeah, I definitely don't think you want to run yourself out of an inning right here, especially with Annalie Adams at the plate. And it's kind of been their MO all year, right? Just kind of sit back and hit it.
Auburn 0 for 5 as a team today with the runner on base. Adams down in the hole quickly, 0-2. Swing and a miss. That rise ball has been money for. So this Auburn offense, just 3 total hits the last 11 innings.
I think that might be the most shocking stat out of all of it with the way that they've come in hitting.
They were consistently above 280 as a team.
But tip your hat to A&M staff.
Yeah.
I mean, they've come in and done a great job.
Popped up in the air. Harper fights off the sun. She's got it for the final outs as Auburn leaves a runner stranded on base. 6 completes. It's a 2-0 lead for Texas A&M. All the above.
We'll start a GoFundMe.
2, 3, and 4 for Texas A&M. This is Kennedy Powell. Powell's been a bright spot. You see her in line. She has reached on 3 different occasions. But shown in the air, Lisenby will let it roll foul.
This is definitely one of these spots in the game where you don't want to get complacent if you're Auburn as a pitching staff, as a defense. I mean, 2 runs is doable, but this A&M offense has proven that they can explode at any point. So getting a first out here would be big.
Check swing, it's put in play over to third. Wooler scoops and fires in time to record the first out. A bright spot today for Auburn. It's been S.J. Guerin in the circle.
I mean, she's really come in and done a job. I think Auburn coaching staff will tell you it's been their goal to pitch by committee. And if you can get through the lineup once or twice and then bring SJ in.
That was a monster swing and a miss by Maya Perez.
I'm surprised every time I look, I hear the glove pop, I see a big swing, and then I look up and I see 57 on the scoreboard.
Line drive, catch made by Roach. Guerin just records outs. Amari Harper gets clipped on the elbow again. Second time she's been hit by a pitch today.
I promise I have my glasses on, but that one looked over the plate as well.
Well, Chris Malvo thought so as well. He came out of the dugout.
You know, we were talking about back in the day when there were no nets and games were on VHS. You know what else we didn't have?
Replay?
Yes, and Evo shields, right? If you got hit, it hurt.
Yeah, that's probably a good invention, right, for softball and baseball.
I mean, I'm here for it for sure.
Whoever came up with that idea. Mac Barbara at the plate. So last time she was up, Auburn wanted no part of her. It was an intentional walk. See if that'll be the case here.
It does appear that they are staying way outside.
Yeah.
And last time they did this, I mean, first base was open. This time, not the case, but there's 2 outs.
Yeah, everything way outside. Look at Lisenby. So Barbara walked for the second time today. And A&M will have a new runner on first base. That's the freshman Frankie Rachel out of Danbury, Texas. And Riker Chazen heads to the circle for Auburn. No activity in the bullpen for the Tigers.
I think they've kind of signed off and said, SJ, this is your game.
Yeah, how big would an insurance run late here for the Aggies be?
I mean, there is such a huge difference from 2-run lead to a 3-run lead. It's like, I just think the gap between that and even 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 is huge.
Line today for the sophomore Garrett. Oklahoma transfer, never pitched as a Sooner. You can just tell she's getting more and more comfortable at Auburn.
Well, she's had a lot of innings to do that with. She's been out there in almost every single game.
Texas A&M makes a change at the plate here. Kylie Griffin will pinch hit. Griffin, a junior from Tyler, Texas, is a Louisiana transfer. Yeah, the Aggies know this is a big spot, so they bring in 2 new base runners and a new bottom portion of the order, the middle portion rather, here for Auburn. And a Woolers, third baseman, leads off. She's 0 for 2. Hits it in the air, left center field. Este underneath it, brings it in for the out.
Now batting number 34, Auburn left.
Graham, you talked last inning how big that extra run would be.
Aggies did scratch a run across, despite the runner being thrown out at third base. Leck takes a strike.
I think if you're an Auburn hitter here and you get in this box, you know you're going to see a pitch around the zone. That one was very, very close to take with 2 strikes.
Just 1 hit today for Auburn, and that was in the first inning. Popped up on the infield, and who else but Kennedy brings it in for the second out.
number 11, Aubrey Lisenby.
Texas A&M started SEC play, dropping the series against Florida. What a bounce back weekend for the Aggies, going on the road and on the verge of a sweep.
I mean, they were in all of those games with Florida too. I mean, the score, like you just look at the box score, it doesn't tell you that. But I mean, this is a good team. This is a good team. They've got all facets of the game. Offense, defense, and congrats to Coach Ford, 500th win right here, coming into Auburn, getting the sweep.
So Texas A&M victorious today, 3-0, and also in the process, Trisha Ford, career win number 500. So congratulations to Trisha Ford and Texas A&M, a successful weekend for the Aggies. So for my partner Amy Reef and for a great crew at Auburn, I'm Graham Doty signing off once again. Final